Getting on the I-10 East. Look at that. That says it. All right, so we're back at the old homestead here later in the afternoon. All right, getting on the I-10 East. Finally getting on the interstate, all fueled up. 396 miles to go. I-10 East, eastbound and down. No? All right. Long trip. Let's go. What's up, internet peoples? Matt from Southern Motorworks here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are on location here in bright and sunny Sebring, Florida, my old stomping grounds, my hometown. And we're here with a project that it's been sitting on this trailer for 1.5 years. Y'all know the story behind that. If you don't, go onto the channel and look back. But today we're out here with a project that's near and dear to our hearts. It's actually the first German car that we ever bought. So you could say this one kind of started the journey for Southern Motorworks, so to speak. So this is a 1999 Mercedes-Benz ML320. We finally reacquired this after selling it off before we moved to Maine. It's been sitting down here on this trailer for 1.5 years. So we're finally getting it pulled back up to the house. It's where we can work on it. It's got a whole mess of issues. We'll deal with that when we get it up there. As y'all can see, what we're dealing with right now, we got to do a trailer bearing on here, and I'm just going to repack all the bearings while we have it out and about. So let me get this busted out, and then we'll get back on the road, and I'll tell y'all a little bit more about this 320 here. Up ahead. There was a detour to go around it. That road was closed also. Good job, Groveland, Florida. All right, so we lost the dust cap on the trailer. So we are at a Walmart in Bushnell, Florida. And we are adapting a clear plastic cup to cover the hub bearing so that we don't get a bunch of dirt, dust, and sand there and everything down in there on the way home, and possibly rain, because it's looking like we might run into some rain also. So we're just trying to make this. We got a 25 pack if this don't work, you know what I mean? So we got plenty to spare. Look at that. It's as if it was meant for it. And I got a whole pack of zip ties. So if this don't work, or if it comes off again, we've got plenty more to go. Oh, look at the schmear. Where's that? All right, so we're back at the old homestead here. Later in the afternoon. We got the old 320, got the rental truck returned. So now we got to get the 320 off of here, get the trailer backed up where it's going to stay for a while and all that good stuff. So first we're going to need to pull German tow over here and hook up to this so that we can tool this around the yard and whatnot. I'm going to try to fire this up and back it off right here, but I don't want to run it for too long with all that bad transmission fluid in there and stuff. But we'll see what's going to happen. If I can get it off the trailer, then we can move the trailer out of the way and we'll just pull this up where we're going to park it. But if not, we'll leave it on the trailer, pull this around there, and then we'll just shove it off the back of the trailer by hand, I guess. So let me get German tow pulled around here, get the ramp set up. We'll see if we can pull this thing off there, see if it'll fire up and we get it pulled off. All right, so I think we got the trailer all set up. We're going to go on ahead and try to hop in there and see if it'll start up. I seriously doubt if it's going to start up, but it's worth a shot. And if it does, we can go ahead and back it on off and get it pulled up to where it's supposed to be. All right, I'm going to throw a quart of ATF in there just so that it's not completely empty. Yeah, it's just going to mix with water again, but if I'm going to run it for a few minutes, I'd rather there be something in there than nothing. Oh God, just spill it all over myself, Matt. Hayden, grab me a rag from somewhere, please. This is probably going to seriously overfill this transmission.
I don't know. When we parked on the trailer, a lot came out.
Yeah, that's true. Is it pouring out immediately? Yes, it is. It's pouring out immediately out of the side of the transmission.
Yep.
Okay, so apparently the transmission fluid is going to come right back out as quickly as we put it in. Looks like it is coming out straight around the transmission pan. Why it would be doing that, I don't know. Okay, so apparently it's coming out around the transmission pan. Why, I don't know. All right, so tightened up the transmission pan bolts a little bit. Don't know that that's going to do any good because they weren't really loose or anything. But either way, there's something in there at least. It's not going to be bone dry. Pretty sure this transmission is going to be toast anyways, and it went leaking out immediately again. So we're just going to call it a day there. It is what it is. Like I said, I'm pretty sure this transmission is toast anyways. But can it give me like 30 more seconds of movage? I need it from there to there, like 50 feet. That's all I need. By the way, these dipsticks aren't supposed to be left in here. You're supposed to check the fluid and then put your little cap back over it. I'm going to leave it in there just so I don't lose track of it. I don't want to get a bunch of junk on it out here. And I'm actually going to leave the hood up for now till I see if I'm going to have to hook jumper cables to this again. But let's see if it's going to move at all. Let's see if it's got any juice first. Oh, we got something, but not enough to start it with, I can tell you that much. But there's dash lights. Yeah, we're going to have to use the Volvo to jump it. All right, so like I said earlier, I was going to give you a little bit of history on the old 320 here. So basically, this was our first German vehicle that we ever bought that really kind of started Southern Motorworks here, so to speak. So like I said, this is a 1999 Mercedes-Benz ML320, same as my old 430 that y'all have seen on the channel a bunch of times. It's just with the 3.2 V6, the M112 V6 instead of the 4.3 M113 V8. Everything else is identical on it. Same 722.6 transmission. Everything else identical. So obviously except for the bumpers, whereas mine were painted white. This one came with the black bumpers or gray, whatever you want to call it. But like I said, everything else is identical. So this one here was really kind of near and dear to us. It was the first German car that we got. Really kind of sparked all this interest in Mercedes and Volvos and everything else and all these trying to save all these Euro cars. So the story behind it was that we had a Ford Freestyle, and my wife drove that for years and years, and finally when the transmission went out, that CVT transmission finally went out, close to 200,000 miles. That went out, and we ended up in a pinch, needed a vehicle. I was commuting back and forth on the Yamaha bike that y'all see me fire up for the first time in 5 years last week. So we needed a vehicle to be able to go back and forth to work, take the kids back and forth to school. So it was like Friday whenever that happened. So we had the weekend off, and I hit up probably 10 or 15 different people on the marketplace trying to get somebody to let me come and pay them some money for a vehicle. So nobody hit us up except for a 17-year-old girl in Fruitland Park, way up in the north, near Ocala, I think it was. So it was like 3.5 hours north of us. She hit us back. She had the ML320. That was her first car. She had it posted up for sale. She'd done upgraded to another vehicle, and she had this one posted up for sale. Her family was getting rid of it. She was the only one to hit me back on the marketplace. So we hopped in a rental minivan, a Dodge Caravan. Ew, minivans. And drove that all the way to Fruitland Park. I want to say that was the name of the town, Fruitland Park, yeah. And drove like 3.5 hours north of us and checked out this vehicle. I think we picked it up for like $1,400 or something. They had the vehicle its entire life. They bought it brand new, and then when their daughter got old enough to have a vehicle, she took over the vehicle, and then they finally got rid of it when we bought it. So there was literally like 15 or 20 years of service records for this thing in the glove box. It had been with one family its entire life. We're literally only the second owners, because I mean, I wouldn't count the daughter as another owner. She was the same family. So we're like the second owners of the vehicle, right? So we get it, bring it all the way home, and we worked on it we drove it around for a few years, had it and everything. Nice, dependable transportation back and forth. We drove it all over, right? Fell in love with the German vehicle, so much so I had to go and get myself one with a V8. So, like I said, this one started it all. Fast forward a few years later, and we're getting ready to move to Maine. At this time, we have German tow here, the GL320 CDI, and my 430. And we had to figure out a way to get those two up to Maine, and so something had to stay in Sebring, as well as my 76 F100, my motorcycle, and we sold this to a buddy. And so he drove it around for the next few years while we were in Maine. Fast forward like another 4 years, and talking to him, and the vehicle had started having transmission issues. He had a small impact in it, crashed. Somebody ran into him in an intersection. He was telling me that the head gasket was blown. I don't think it's the head gasket. I think the transmission cooler ruptured in the radiator and gave a strawberry milkshake, and that's why the transmission doesn't really work great. The coolant had transmission fluid in it. The oil is perfectly fine. There's no coolant in the oil whatsoever, so I think it's just the transmission is shot. So, like I said, he hit me up whenever this was happening. I told him, look, don't friggin' get rid of it. I will come and pay you for the barely alive still Mercedes, because I don't want to see it go to a junkyard or a scrapyard or anything like that. So we headed down, paid the man, got the title back, and put it on a trailer. And then we were getting ready to haul it back to Panama City up here, and Hurricane Helene was coming up, and it looked like it was bearing down on Panama City. And so we dropped everything, and hauled back up here to try to batten down the hatches and everything. And obviously, as y'all know, Hurricane Helene shifted, ended up hitting Panama City. But we couldn't get the time, couldn't make it work between schedules and work schedules and everything else, and trying to rescue all these other vehicles. Couldn't get back down there for the last year and a half. So we finally got back down there. We finally got the old girl back here at the homestead where she belongs, back with the family, the originator of Southern Motor Works over here. Glad to have it back finally. It's got a long road ahead of it. It's got a lot of work to do. We got some big plans for it. They got some crazy friggin' plans for it, man. Y'all ain't gonna believe this stuff. But yeah, it's good to have it back in the family. So that being said, let's see if I can get it fired up. And if that transmission will hang in there for a little while longer, we'll try to back it off and get it parked over here next to her sister, the old 430 over there, for the first time in like 5 years. Okay, it is like dead. Okay, so we took the battery out of the Swedish gentleman over there, put it in there, see if it'll fire up now. Okay, so that battery was dead too. So, or almost dead, so we're gonna use the engine start function and see if I can get it fired up that way. Okay, so it fired up. Let me see if I can get that transmission to work just a hair longer. Get it off this trailer. Yeah, it's telling me it's low on coolant. Brakes. So we're going to be in the market for another transmission, but it's off the trailer. So let me get the trailer backed up where I need it to be, and then I guess we'll use German tow here to snatch that over. We'll use it to snatch it off in the corner there. I had to beat my friggin', somehow it shifted and it was going to be hitting the license plate frame, so I guess I'll have to remake the license plate frame. I got to figure out something with the wiring on that anyway, because when you push on the brake pedal and the brakes slide up, the tag light goes out. I don't know what's up with that, but we got to sort it out anyway. That trailer needs a little bit of work, so it is what it is. But yeah, let me get the diesel fired up and pull the trailer over where I want it to be, and then we'll pull that 320 there back over in the corner. German tow there was literally idling, pulling that up in the yard. I didn't even have my foot on the gas most of the time. It was just idling up. That thing was idling at like 800 RPMs up there, pulling a 4,400 pound SUV. Oh man, I love this diesel motor. All right, so we finally got it pulled over there, pushed over there, a bunch of heaving and hoeing. We got it into place, but it fought us every step of the way. So there's a lot more to come with that one. We got some big plans with that one. Y'all ain't gonna believe what we got planned for that one. I'm gonna tell you what, it's gonna be pretty unique, and the only Mercedes-Benz like it running around. But that's gonna do it for this episode. We rescued another one nearest and dearest to our heart, the origin of Southern Motorworks, so to speak. Got it back here to the homestead, and I appreciate y'all hanging out with us and watching while we did it. If you enjoy this sort of content, don't forget to like and subscribe so you can see all the goings on here at Southern Motorworks and see what we got in store for that old 320 out there. I appreciate y'all hanging out. We'll catch you on the next one, all right? Y'all have a good one out there.